we've had a handful of public Bitcoin miners come out with AI and HPC strategies. And when I say strategies, I say that to kind of lump them in a broader bucket because their execution at this point and how much time and money they've put into this, it varies widely from miner to miner. So you have everything from miners like TeraWulf, who has said we're looking into this and trying to do a pilot, to miners like Core Scientific, who are inking deals with these AI companies to provide megawatts and compute load. And the main miners that we cover in our update are Core Scientific, Hut 8, Hive, Iris Energy, now Iron, Bit Digital, and we briefly touch on TeraWulf and BitDeer. So as you can see from this year-to-date average stock price change, the reason these miners have been at least announcing or looking into AI and HPC heavily is because the market is rewarding them for it. NVIDIA is at a $3 trillion market cap. Whether or not that's justified is for some other analysts in some other universe to break down. But at the end of the day, investors are hungry for anything that is going to bring them returns. And the AI HPC narrative is super strong right now. And as you can see from this, year to date, as of, I think, August 27th, AI and HPC miners were returning 39% on their stock prices year to date, whereas traditional miners had lost 19% on average. And this is taking the top miners by market cap. You can see down at the bottom of the chart which ones I include. But how much of this is hype and how much of this is reality? This has been a huge kind of trend or thread for us to pull on. And if you'll scroll down to the revenue section here, Will, you can see that currently these business lines are very much in their infancy and they're really not generating that much in terms of gross profit. As you can see right here, Bit Digital had the largest gross profit out of all of them. I want to caveat that I am not sure based on their filings because it's not totally clear how much of that is from providing actual cloud computing services and how much of that is from equipment sales. If equipment sales are included in this, which they seem to be, that would indicate why their profit margins are so much fatter than the rest of the competition. Because right now, the two models of AI and HPC compute that these miners are chasing are really leasing a tier 3 data center, which is what Core Scientific is currently doing, or outfitting their current data centers with AI and HPC computers, which is what some of these other miners are pursuing. And in fact, Core is going to try to retrofit their data centers to provide HPC load as well. But the reason I bring up that leasing component is because if you're leasing one of these data centers, your margins are going to be very thin. And that's why really for a long-term strategy to pay off for these guys, they're going to need to either retrofit their existing mining facilities or build one from scratch. Or as Hut 8 has done, buy one outright. They bought TeraGo in 2022. But as we can see, even with that, their margins are still very slim. And so the question will be over the next year or two, really 3, because these data centers take a long time to build. Is this pivot going to pull off for a lot of miners? It's one of the biggest question marks currently that's hanging over the space. There's a lot of skepticism. There's also a lot of hype that has been generated and a lot of excitement for these miners who are announcing these business lines. So I won't break down miner by miner where they're at in terms of their strategies and in terms of their updates for Q2, but go check out that article. I kind of break down on an individual miner basis which miners are doing what and what strategies they're pursuing, because it's kind of like mining in general. You know, we often talk about the industry kind of holistically and lump every miner into one bucket. But just like there are 1,000 ways to skin the Bitcoin mining cat, there are 1,000 ways to skin the AI and HPC cat. And all of these miners are going to approach it from different angles in terms of what they think is most optimal for their businesses. So